Another week has passed, another Tuesday night has come, and it is another week of NXT. We got two debuts on this show. We got the amazing, the beautiful new Joshi star in NXT, Sarray, and then Cool Kyle. Would love to see it. My name is Jordan Moser, and this is your NXT recap and review. Bang. Cool Kyle kicks off the show, and he's happy and lively, you know. He's got on the nice jean jacket, the sunglasses, and he's reveling in the fact that he is finally past Adam Cole. That has happened in the past from Stand and Deliver. Everything is over and he can move on and just look to new pastures. You know, he's wondering what his new goals are and his new opportunities and objectives, and he looks at the North American Championship and he sees that, of course, but then he makes a time reference and it's like, oh, I must be talking to you, Mr. Karrion Kross, the NXT champion. And before he can really stake his claim for that title, out comes Cameron Grimes. He just comes out and he tells Kyle O'Reilly, congratulations on your victories and such, you know, beating Adam Cole and take over everything that's happened. You're doing good, man. It would be good for someone to invest in you and watch your back and help you with this branding. You know, the sunglasses and the jacket. I see you. I want to be able to help you. And Kyle's kind of go along with it. He's talking about how he's finally cleared to compete as well. Everybody's like, yeah, congratulations, yay. And then he remembers that his first opponent is Cameron Grimes, and then just decks him, you know, puts him to the ground. And now we have our main event for the show. He flips on the hat and the sunglasses and dips out the ring. Yeah, this is a nice little segment. It's definitely cool to see Kyle O'Reilly kind of dipping into the different parts of his personality now. Cool Kyle, which I am looking forward to see how that is kind of utilized over the next couple of weeks. And Cameron Grimes always does his thing. So looking forward to the main event of the show. Should be a great match that we see later on. We got our first match of the night. Up next, we got Dexter Loomis versus LA Knight. We see a nice little back and forth start to this matchup. No man really getting a full-blown advantage. Loomis is eventually thrown outside of the ring by Knight as we go into picture-in-picture, which Knight pretty much controls for the most part. We come back. Loomis is eventually just taking back control, hits a nice spine buster and goes on a nice little comeback, eventually capped by a nice little slingshot suplex, only for a 2 count. We see later on they're eventually fighting outside the ring. That's where Knight kind of takes back control. He slams Loomis into the barricade out there and into the ring apron as well. They eventually continue fighting on the outside. Loomis is thrown into the front part of the ring, into the barricade out there, and he looks up and he sees Indy Hartwell just standing there. She's supporting. She got the lovey-dovey eyes. They touch hands, do everything. They make eye contact. They're about to lock lips, and Knight won't let it happen. He attacks. He throws Loomis back into the ring. They eventually have a little squabble out there. Loomis tries to get back into the ring as well, but is distracted by Indy. That allows LA Knight to hit an ugly DDT. It didn't hit any of it at all, unfortunately, but they say he hit it, gets the 1, 2, 3, and the win. He celebrates. He goes out on the entrance ramp and celebrates and all that. Indy is eventually just trying to get into the ring. She's trying to get close to Dexter. They almost lock lips again, and we see the rest of the way. Austin, Candice, and Johnny, they come out and just kind of take her away and pull her away like, no, this is not for you, no. And they just go away, and Loomis just looks dejected in the ring as we kind of end the segment off. This is an okay match. I won't say it was boring, but it was definitely not my cup of tea. Not really a fan of either guy in the ring for the most part a lot. So it was just kind of prodding along, and then we saw that ugly DDT at the end that did not hit in any way. So yeah, it was definitely just more of a nothing match. Definitely the developing relationship between Indy and Loomis kind of took center stage, which I'm not the biggest fan of either, but the Nextras seem to like it, so I'm like, I'll take it for now. We'll kind of see what develops of it later on, but yeah, just more so of a nothing match and an okay kind of development in the closeness and relationship of Indy and Loomis. So yeah, good, okay stuff. Next up, we have a sit-down interview of Beth Phoenix interviewing Io Shirai, just kind of talking about the events of TakeOver Stand and Deliver. Io said, hey, now that I don't have my title, I am resting. I want a rematch, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to rest. I defended my title for 300 days. We're going to chill for a little bit. We see a dog end up on the table. It's Frankie Monet's dog. She comes in and kind of interrupts the whole proceedings and everything, tries to give her best to both Io Shirai and Beth Phoenix, and Io's not having it. She's angry. She wants to fight. but she gonna come back. She gonna rest for a little bit, and then she gonna come back and get Frankie Monet. And so I'm looking forward to that. That should definitely be a fun feud and a fun match to watch to kind of kick Frankie Monet off in her time in NXT. So yeah, definitely good stuff here from everybody involved. Next up, we got a match between Breezango and the grizzled young veterans. We do see Breezango, they come to the ring just as the British Guard or the Queen's Guard, and GYV don't like that at all. They're not amused at it. We do see Gibson and Bree start this match off, and they're just trading shots and going back and forth. We do see Breezango pretty much have control for a good portion of the first part of this matchup. Fandango hits a dive to the outside on both men to kind of take control going into the commercial break. We come back from break. Fandango and James Drake are fighting in the ring. Drake comes off the top rope and he tweaks his knee. That's what it looks like. He comes down. Everybody's concerned. The referee's checking on him and stuff like that, and then we see as James Drake is just sitting in the ring, Zach Gibson's in the background. He just hits Fandango, he blindsides him, and then Drake shows he's okay. He was playing, y'all. He was playing. And that's where GYV kind of take back control for a good portion of the second part. Tyler Breeze eventually tags into the match, and he does come in aggressive, just stomping a mud hole in the corner on James Drake as well, just getting this comeback on. But he is eventually run down. He's hit with a nice swift kick, and from there, GYV hit Ticket to Mayhem for the 1-2-3 and the win for the grizzled young veterans. It's a nice way to kind of pick up momentum, hopefully challenging MSK for their titles in the future. That's what they kind of mentioned in the pre-match promo. So we're seeing where that kind of goes, but yeah, definitely a good showing from these two, and Evolve not been bad really about the match. Just a nice way to gain momentum for the GYV. So yeah, pretty good stuff from those two teams, of course. Next up, we do have the match between Zoe Stark and the debuting Sarray. Everything about her entrance, just her coming in, was magnificent. The lighting, the music, she looks amazing. Like, everything was like magnifique. Like, it was beautiful. We see the beginning of this matchup. Stark definitely using more of her strength to kind of gain an advantage early on, while Sarray using more of that technical work and just those strikes to kind of gain control for the most part. We see her even throwing a couple submissions like an STF early on to reverse some of Stark's moves. But we see Zoe in control a lot at the beginning, just using those rest holds and utilizing that. We see Sarray start to come back a little bit. She hits a little drop kick outside the ring to send Stark flying to kind of gain things back and kind of move the momentum towards her favor. We see a lot more back and forth. We eventually see Stark go up top for a 450 splash. So she misses. Sarray rolls through, but Stark kicks back out at 2, and then she hits a beautiful heel kick to the jaw of Sarray, but only for a 2 count as well. It's from here we do see the end of this match as Sarray slips out of a suplex. She hits a nice little spinning kick, a forearm, and a modified Saito suplex for the 1-2-3 and the win. Win came out of nowhere, really. I was not surprised. I was not expecting that at all. We see them kind of celebrate. They hold each other's hands up in the ring. They're like, yeah, cool. We see as Stark is leaving, she's attacked by Toni Storm, who she beat on the NXT Stand and Deliver pre-show, and she's just attacked by Storm and left laying, and Sarray kind of tends to her as the segment kind of ends off. This was a pretty fun match. I really enjoyed this a lot. I was actually more impressed by Stark than I was by the debuting Sarray, even though she definitely did great in the ring, of course. Stark, with each TV performance, she continues to improve more so in the ring. Not really know what her character is, but just more so seeing her just like improving the ring. She is spurting out awesome TV performances. Like, she is killing them. I love Sarray's look. She's definitely the next Joshi star that they have coming in for NXT, and so this is going to be an amazing way to showcase her, and her look and everything already is impressive. I just can't wait to have her have one of those performances, you know, so I'm looking forward to that. And definitely the eventual matchup with her and Toni Storm after her attack on Zoe Stark earlier is mouth-watering, to say the least. So I'm looking forward to everything like that. But yeah, this is a beautiful match and beautiful debut for Sarray. Next up, we got Kishida's Cruiserweight Championship Open Challenge. We see Kushida, he says he won the championship on the Open Challenge, and now he's returning the favor to somebody else who wants it. He's not wearing shoes, so he is ready for anything. And Oni Lorcan answers the challenge. He comes out, and right off the bat, they are going at it. They're not playing around, just trading submissions, grappling, back and forth, and just strikes and holds at the beginning of this match. They are really going at it for that counter wrestling. We do see, as we go into the commercial break, Oni on the second rope, and his head is literally kicked off his body as he falls outside of the ring as we go into that commercial break. Coming back from break, and Lorcan is in control. He's got on a submission and then adds a nice little running European uppercut to boot as well, only for a 2 count. We see Kishida, he starts to come back. He hits a nice little shote, nice little palm strike in the middle of the ring and begins his comeback. Eventually goes after that arm in preparation for the hoverboard lock as usual. We see as this match is coming to a close, Lorcan, he is just going at it. He's throwing them chops. Commentary described it as like thunder, and they are exactly right. Those are some of the hardest chops I've heard in a minute. Like, Lorcan was throwing them bombs, bro, but Kishida ain't feeling it. He was hulking up. He was like, ain't nothing you can do about it, baby. He eventually hits that right hand and a nice little cartwheel drop kick, another kick to that right arm, and then eventually gets on that hoverboard lock, which forces Oney Lorcan to tap out. A successful first defense of the Cruiserweight Championship for Kishida. And we see as he's celebrating in the ring, Legado del Fantasma music hits. We see Escobar out on the stage. He wants his title back. We see the rest of Legado del Fantasma, Mendoza and Wild, come from behind, and they're just jumping the boys. A 3-on-1 assault just outside the ring and inside. We see MSK. They come and show up and they defend their homeboy Kishida. They just attack Legado and send them packing as well to kind of end off the segment. MSK and Kishida standing tall. I like this. I like this a lot. It's a really nice first defense for Kishida. Lorcan was the perfect opponent to kind of set this joint off. Hopefully it's a nice little reign for Kishida. He shouldn't be in the juniors division anyway between me and you. But we're going to leave that as it is. I see he's making the most of it just with the costume change and everything. So it's fire. I'm looking forward to another match between him and Escobar as well, which should be a hoot. So I'm looking forward to that. And even MSK and Legado kind of going at it. Looking forward to that kind of defense as well. So yeah, everything here was pretty phenomenal. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. We see Raquel Gonzalez and Mercedes Martinez trading words in different segments throughout the night. Raquel just getting interviewed about Mercedes Martinez, and Mercedes in the backstage little segment say, hey, don't be ducking me, Gonzalez. I called you out last week and I've gotten silence. Like, I'm waiting, baby. Come on, don't be scared now. I'm definitely looking forward to this amazing house fight between these two women. So yes, please give me more of this. Give me them fighting in the next few weeks, please. Next up, we got a match. We got Everest versus Imperium, Fabian, Eichner, and Marcel, Bartel. The match wasn't really anything. Very dominant performance for Imperium, and they eventually won with a nice little Doomsday setup, and then they hit an uppercut for that Doomsday device for a 1-2-3. We do see earlier on in the matchup, we see Killian Dane. He comes out, and he's trying to talk with Alexander Wolf and just get more of an explanation on, you know, what's going on. Why am I being attacked? I was your homeboy. Insanity. Now where we at? We see Drake come out, he knocks out Alexander Wolf and just throws a punch, and Dane's like, what you doing, bro? We got to get out of here. You know, we can't be having all this. And so he just takes Drake to the back as Imperium kind of finish their matchup in their 2 minutes. But yeah, just a very interesting development. Dane trying to be on the more calm side, while Drake is like, nah, I'm not having it, boy. So we'll kind of see where that goes in the next couple of weeks. Maybe it does end up with Dane kind of joining the dark side, which I'm thinking will probably happen, but we'll definitely see what happens in the next couple of weeks. Last up in our main event, we got Cameron Grimes versus Cool Kyle O'Reilly. We see the beginning of this match, both men are just trading grabs and submissions throughout the beginning part of this match. Kyle O'Reilly kind of taking control strike-wise later on in the beginning part. We do see as Grimes eventually escapes a heel hook, he does a backflip into a nice German suplex onto that recovering neck on Kyle O'Reilly and sends him out of the ring as we go into the commercial break. Coming back from break in, Grimes is working on that recovering neck of Kyle O'Reilly just with a couple of submissions to boot on that neck. But Kyle eventually starts to come back. He hits a nice knee to the gut of Cameron Grimes, begins his comeback, eventually hits a nice little guillotine choke. He gets that on for a good 10 seconds and hits a beautiful kick or a PK to the chest to kind of take back control. Both men are trading shots at this point, just going back and forth. We do see a really nice move as Kyle O'Reilly is kicked. He goes for that rebound clothesline, and Cameron Grimes, as it comes back, he just gets him in that nice little Spanish fly only for a 2 count as well. But we do see at the end of this match, Grimes hits another thrust kick to Kyle O'Reilly, but this time he goes for the rebound clothesline and he hits it, knocks Grimes off his feet, hits Axe and Smash with the brain buster to follow, puts him down, and then he goes up top for that leaping knee drop. He hits it and he pins Grimes for the 1-2-3 and the win for Kyle O'Reilly, and he celebrates and he plays his air guitar as we go off the air for NXT. This was really fun to watch. Yeah, definitely great just counter wrestling between these two, especially in the latter part of this matchup. Cameron Grimes is just an opponent that makes his opponents look good. I don't understand it. I don't really get why, but every time he's in the ring with somebody, even when he loses, he just makes his opponent look so freaking good every single time. And we see Kyle O'Reilly and Karrion Kross kind of have a face-off before this match kicked off as well, so that seems to be the next direction for Kyle O'Reilly. I would not be surprised in the least if Adam Cole kind of makes his appearance once they have kind of that match, that Karrion Kross and Kyle O'Reilly match. So I'm looking forward to that and everything that comes from that, and just Kyle O'Reilly's kind of growth to top contender for Karrion Kross's title. But yeah, just an amazing main event from Grimes and O'Reilly. Definitely a good way to end off this episode of NXT. Beautiful show. I would definitely say this is an upgrade from last week in that post-takeover edition of NXT. We got Kyle O'Reilly coming back. We got Sarray debuting, and just an awesome match, and a couple of just amazing matches on this show, especially that Cruiserweight Open Challenge with Lorcan and Kishida. That was beautiful stuff as well. So yeah, definitely a great episode of NXT. Looking forward to how they kind of go ahead and improve on things in the next couple of weeks and just progress toward the next takeover that we're going to have coming up. Matches are coming out the woodwork. We got Raquel and Mercedes coming on. Ooh, I'm looking forward to that a lot. Yeah, beautiful stuff from NXT. That is going to be it from me. You will see just videos coming throughout the week because you already know what it is. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your grandmama. If she watch it, she gonna love it, I tell you. Yeah, that's gonna be it from me. I'm out. Peace. You continue to love each other, continue to pray for each other, be there for each other, everything like that, of course. I'll see y'all soon.